Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prashnaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashat Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So Clavium Masva Gama Partha Naita Tvai Upapatyate Shudram Hridaya Daurvalyam Shudram Hridaya Daurvalyam Taktotishta Parantapa. O son of Pritha, do not yield to this degrading impotence. It does not become you. Give up such petty weakness of heart and arise or chastise our enemy. Now Arjuna is declining to fight. Krishna is talking to him like a friend at this moment. And Krishna is pointing out, therefore, in a general sense, that he has such wonderful qualifications. And therefore Prabhupada says, he uses the word Partha and Parantapa. Two words are used for Arjuna here. Gama Partha and Parantapa. Parantapa means he is very capable. Partha means son of Pritha, reminding him of a relationship to Krishna. Right? His mother was related to Krishna. Mother's brother's son is Krishna. Whatever you call. Nephew. Cousin brother, no? Cousins, yeah. So they are related, they are cousins. And Krishna is reminding him that he has, such a great warrior, Parantapa, and connected to Lord Krishna himself. And he is in the direct guidance of the Lord itself. In spite of all that, Shridhara, don't spoil it. In spite of all that, in spite of all this situation, he is in great difficulty. He is choosing not to fight. So there, very important point Prabhupada says, he uses the word, in spite of all this gratitude. So we should also think, therefore Prabhupada used to say, he was giving a big class in public. And that was somewhere in Odisha. And then one person got up to ask, Swamiji, how do I believe that Krishna existed? Public, huge public is there. Prabhupada said, you should be ashamed of yourself. You are born in India and asking this question. Correct? Because we should know the credit, we have the credit of being born in India and still, these basic things are not clear. So unfortunate actually. Today it is so unfortunate. And that sort of magnanimity. And then second thing is, one thing is not knowing who is Krishna, and the second thing is having strange ideas about what to be done in life. Arjuna at this moment is subscribing to Gandhi's non-violence movement, which came much later. But the similar kind of idea, no, he doesn't know. He doesn't have to care to know this movement. And he's giving his proposal, that Krishna, how can I, fight with Drona and Bhishma? The Krishna says, this so-called your non-violence, go to hell. You are under my direct guidance. Get up, you actually, we can understand, it's not very difficult, we have explained so many times. Suppose you go to arrest somebody somewhere, okay? You are a policeman. And when all the crime is investigated, the person happens to be a very close friend. So it's not easy for you to arrest him, it is not easy. If you don't arrest him, actually it is your weakness of the heart, no other reason. Similarly, Arjuna has to, as a Kshatriya, Parantapa, means chastise our enemies, he has to punish. Duryodhana has to be punished for what the activities he has done. But who is going to punish? Arjuna, being the head Kshatriya, has to do it. So he is not, how can I do it, No, you have to do it. And he didn't tell if Drona and Bhishma has come to protect Duryodhana, that is their fault, not Arjuna's fault. He should proceed with his duty, correct? Is it logical? So if he is not doing it, it is weakness of his heart. Therefore Krishna uses the word here, Shudram Hridaya Daurbalyam. Shudra, third line you say, Shudra Hridaya Daurbalyam. Petty, weakness of the heart. Shudra, petty. And Hridaya Daurbalyam, weakness of the heart. You have to give up this weakness of the heart, Arjuna. And you are fully capable to chastise your enemies. And don't forget, before you take the hasty decision, don't forget you have many credits. And it will be very unfortunate that a person is such wonderful credits. A person is such wonderful credits does not or gives up this word, does a foolish decision. Similarly, we should also feel we also have wonderful credit, come under a great master, a great acharya, and in directly the movement of Lord Chaitanya, and don't go back to Godhead. It's a great misfortune. Great misfortune. After all this credits, you didn't go back to it. This is the holy name also you are chanting, no? What is the 10th office? What is the 10th office in chanting the holy name? Still we attach to so many things, even after hearing so many instructions about the glories of the holy name. Still attached to so many material concepts, material ideas, material objectives, even after hearing. Therefore Prabhupada says, Krishna conscious movement, he is telling in one conversation, I heard very nicely he's telling. He said the problem is, this Krishna conscious movement is a thoroughly spiritual movement. But the people who are absorbed in material sphere, they find it difficult to understand. There is no fault with the movement. Movement is the people. Problem is the people who are thoroughly absorbed in the material plane, they find it very difficult to understand. Otherwise, this is a thoroughly pure spiritual movement. It has no material objectives. Completely thoroughly spiritual. Not that health will get well, you will become powerful, all that nonsense. There are some seminar today. Power, all rubbish. So this movement does not want to distract people and all this weakness. You are rather taking advantage of the weakness of the heart of people. Krishna did not take this is what people do actually. Everybody wants to become powerful. Everybody wants to become leader. Everybody wants to become successful. Everybody. Actually, this all is weakness of the heart. Prabhupada says devotee has no ambition. No ambition. There was once Prabhupada given, some parents had come up from devotee. In America, so Prabhupada was talking to them, and Prabhupada told, devotee has no ambition. So they were little, taken back, completely material perspectives. So the person who was hearing, the parents, so one devotee was American devotee. He tried to clarify, as if correcting Prabhupada, he has no material mission. Prabhupada said, no, he has no spiritual, no material. He has no, some kind of a, he just surrendered to Krishna. He just want to serve Krishna, that's all. He is not bothered where Krishna takes him, what happens. Prabhupada says similarly, is that I blindly follow my spiritual master, I don't know what is the result. That is where our anxiety is, that I am following the Acharya, that's all. But I don't have a spiritual or material, some kind of ambition. Oh no, I should have this ambition. Then all the problems will start. Actually, all the same rat race will start inside the moment. It happens sometimes. So no, the devotee has no ambition, either material or spiritual. So this is completely a spiritual movement. So how people can understand all these things? But what people do, instead of guiding people, that our ambition should be to fulfill the mission of the Lord in this world. Just like we heard that time when Madhvacharya went, Narayan Rishi, they gave him some work to do. Lord has a mission in this world. Our objective is to fulfill the Lord's mission in this world, not to create our nonsense ambition, either material or spiritual. Correct? Our objective is only one. Can I first understand what is the Lord's mission? Because this world has not been created by an accident. And this world on the top of it has some plan. See, today what happens, unfortunately, because of the wrong training, people have become dull-headed. So they think this world has come by an accident and there is no plan. Then do whatever you want. Correct? That is the reason actually the society people can do. The same thing Arjuna is also thinking. He is only at this moment, by the arrangement of the Lord, only thinking about his own Vyavaharika thing. No, I think my grandfather will not be happy if I fight this war. Just like all of us, 24 hours stay. No, he is happy, he is not happy, he is unhappy, and all the time goes into that. Correct? That is what Arjuna's condition is. Krishna is saying, oh, forget all that nonsense. I have a mission in this world, I have come for some mission, I want this war. And you are talking about no, I think my auntie will not be happy, I think my uncle will not be happy. Forget all this. Correct? So this is therefore devotee, either material or spiritual, finally it comes down to our so-called, because morning we are discussing our Sahaji, I will not be able to understand what is material mission or spiritual mission. He may have a material mission and will give a spiritual color to it. He wants to enjoy sense gratification. He will twist the philosophy. That's what Sahajiya does. Therefore, a person with the philosophy is very dangerous because he can use the philosophy to explain anything. I am not the body. So, body is drinking. I am not drinking. Body is smoking. I am not smoking. I am not the body. I am soul. Yeah. You can use the philosophy to explain any sinful activity. I didn't do. Body did. I didn't do the murder. The body did the murder. How does the judge punish you? I am not responsible. So people using philosophy, so therefore it is said, even Bhaktivinoda Prabhupada said, the famous statement, no? He said, when my disciples become sense gratifiers, they will be most dangerous people in this world. Because they know such advanced philosophy, they will use it to justify anything. They will be more dangerous than normal people. Because normal people at least they feel embarrassed and they have no explanation. But they are so powerful, they twist and give an explanation for that also. Sometimes people do that, they do a wrong activity and give an explanation for that, like that. So now, our point is not to compromise on the 100% spiritual mission that it is, status, but what other people do, which we do not, we have to expose, but we're not going to take the name. They take advantage of the people's weakness. People have weakness for money, power, name. They take advantage of that. Therefore, the lectures will be titled, how to become a big leader, how to become powerful. People, whole crowd will go. You say there is a lecture on Gita, nobody will come. How to become servant of Krishna, there is a pravachan. How to become a successful leader. 7 secrets to become. One person made a video, Sutras and Gitas for a successful leader. 10,000 hits in one time. Everybody wants to read that. And you read, how to become servant of Krishna from Gita. Nobody will pick it up also. But what that other person is doing actually is taking advantage of people's weakness. Correct? It's taking advantage. So we should be very careful not to misguide. Therefore Prabhupada said, I have to write this Bhagavad Gita. Prabhupada said in the Bhagavad Gita in the 4th chapter. Actually there are so many editions Prabhupada says of Bhagavad Gita. But everywhere I see people putting their own ideas and their own whims. This Bhagavad Gita is to establish Krishna's whims, not our whims. Or Krishna's, he says not whims, Krishna's will. This Bhagavad Gita is to establish the will of Krishna in this world, not our own whims and fancies. Okay, so Krishna is not taking advantage of his weakness, rather directly exposing. A person feels hurt actually. Directly, in the beginning only he is telling Arjuna, what is this weakness of heart you are showing? Correct? Which is not easy. You lose disciples when you speak like this. You tell somebody you come to, a lot of weakness you are having. Even as a doctor, he will run away. Looks like a lot of bad habits you have. Tell somebody. He will disappear. You have to tell him, you are such a wonderful man, but I think sometimes you smoke, looks like. If you tell him, it looks like having a lot of weaknesses and bad habits, terrible. He will, Bartini, and he will vanish. Do not yield to the dignity's impotence. It does not become a giver of the petty weakness of heart and arise or chastise our enemy. So giving him credit, due credit, you are a chastiser or enemy, and this is not expected from you, Arjuna. Such sort of magnanimity is not approved by authority. So all these kind of ideas which are coming out of his weakness, so-called, wishing well, is actually also an anartha. Krishna is the greatest well-wisher in this world. Sometimes people think I have to take care. We should never forget that Krishna is the ultimate take care. We can just do something on a limited capacity, but don't forget Krishna is the ultimate well-wisher. The anxiety goes away then. Okay? Like children are not there. Now you think how to take care. You can't take care. You have to remember Krishna is the ultimate take care. On my duty I can give some instruction, but finally leave it to the Lord. If too much we develop as a doership, I am the controller, I am the well-wisher, then we will go into cycle. We can't sleep then. Because things are not under my control. So that becomes, there is a big discussion, Prabhupada becomes another anartha. Such sort of magnanimity is not approved by authority. Yeah, we should be very careful. We may think, Prabhupada says, you want to do good, before that you should know what is good. So Arjuna was thinking, if he spares Duryodhana the party and does not kill them, that is good. If he spares Dronacharya and Bhishma from the death now, that is good. No. Killing them is good, which he does not know. That's why for a king, when a criminal comes, he has done murder. Nowadays, mostly the world is all Shudras, weak-hearted. They always say, non-violence, non-violence. They don't, whole world is going against death penalty today. But Manusmriti says when a king kills a murderer, he does a favor to that fellow. Because his big papa is over now. He can live peacefully after that, next life. Actually. But if he doesn't remove that big reaction, so many trouble will come to him after that. Even Parikshit Maharaj, when he came after putting the snake on the head of the person, at that moment he could not control himself. Actually, it was all arrangement of the Lord. He is not like us under Mahamaya, he is under Yogamaya, he is a great devotee. Mahatmanastu Mahampartha Devim Prakatim Ashita. He is under the protection of the Lord, but still, just like Arjuna is in bewilderment, he came under bewilderment. And he put a snake under on the neck of the Samika Rishi. And when he was coming back, he realized his mistake. And he was praying, my Lord, please immediately punish me, so that I don't do such sinful activities again. So great man, when he does a mistake, he seeks punishment, not pardon. If I have done something, I should suffer for it. Today, you punish somebody who has done wrong, he will not agree. First thing, they will not agree. And if they agree, they will say, no, please forgive me. Oh, sorry. It's like as teachers you have an experience, they will do some great mischief. Sorry. Sometimes I tell in colleges, you are some kids or what, how long this sorry will go? Okay? Small children, okay, sorry. How can grown-up people say sorry? But so anyway, so we should know what is good. So this foolish magnanimity is not approved by authorities. So we should know what authorities say, what is good, what is bad. We have Karti. Okay, we have one shloka, we can do one more. Arjuna vacha katam bhisham aham sankhye dronam cha madhusudana ishubi pratiyosyami pujaha arisudana. Arjuna said, a killer of Madhu Krishna, how can I counteract with arrows in battle men like Bhishma and Drona who are worthy of my worship?
Respectable superiors to Bhishma, the grandfather, and Dronacharya, the teacher, are always worshipable. Even if they attack, they should not be counter-attacked. It is a general etiquette that superiors are not to be offered even a verbal fight. Even if they are sometimes harsh in behavior, they should not be harshly treated. Then how is it possible for Arjuna to counter-attack them? Would Krishna ever attack his own grandfather, Ugrasena, or his teacher, Sandipani Muni? There were some of the arguments by Arjuna to Krishna.
So they are still talking like friends. And Arjuna will soon realize this friendship talk will not work out. So Krishna has accused him of being weak in the heart. And he's saying, Krishna, I am not weak, I am grand in the heart. Why? And he's saying, Krishna, Puja. Drona and Bhishma, I can do puja for them. If you give such speech, people will clap like anything today. How can I throw arrows at my grandfather and my teacher? I can worship them with flowers. I cannot throw arrows at them. People will say, oh, great, great, great. Correct? So he's trying to show he's not weak in the heart. He's great in the heart. The friendship talk is going on. Soon he's going to surrender because this all nonsense will not work out. And his anxiety will come to here. Already he is crying. It will go over his head and he will surrender. Krishna, please guide me. Enough of our friendly discussion. So he's saying, another point Prabhupada says, that Arisudana and Madhusudana, he uses the word, particularly two words, Madhusudana and Arisudana. Sudana means a killer. Of whom? Madhu is a great demon Krishna killed. Madhu and Kaitava, they tried to steal the Vedas and gave with the as Matsya Avatara. And then another one is Ari, enemy. So Krishna, you kill enemies, you kill big, big demons. But you have today asked me to kill my own teacher and my grandfather. Did you kill your teacher Sandipani Mani? Did you kill your grandfather? You have not done that. So why you are expecting me to do that? As a friendly talk it is going. And Prabhupada has also pointed, this is the Vedic culture actually. We don't. The truth is not that we take advantage. Now we are becoming elders, so it's so nice to hear all this. As you grow up in age, nice to tell everybody, put in the top in front of everybody. See, we should know Vedic etiquette is, we should not give a verbal even fight, but we should not take advantage of that. Prabhupada used to say sometimes, just like women in Vedic culture are never punished. So the lady started smiling in his class. Prabhupada was giving a class. So Prabhupada said, don't take advantage of it. They will never punish. Even courts will not, police will never bring a woman. No. They are immediately ignored. Like children are never punished, women will not be punished in the Vedic culture. This is a new thing now. No, all we ignored. The Prabhupada then started to say, no, don't take advantage of it. The same way elders are not to be given a verbal fight. We can sometimes shout, but then we should not take advantage of that. That's the Vedic culture. That's why the decorum remains, the atmosphere remains peaceful. Okay, so that was Arjuna was trying to bring this point to Krishna, that how can I, even elders may sometimes shout, but how can I shout back? Because this is throwing arrows at them. How is it possible? Okay, so now this all will not work and he is going to surrender. Srila Prabhupada ki, Bhagavad Gita ki.